So, in the meat of today's conversation, I wanted to talk about content creation, especially considering Rick is here. There's a lot of struggle in the app to be good at content creation, and the app's name is where it all starts. Now, I think people have a misconception about, and Rick and I were scheduled to talk about this, understand what audience size means for you if you have one, and what audience size means if you don't. And how the app treats you is very different depending on time of the month, depending on the size of your audience, and depending on the size of your content. As someone who is excellent at games, Dani, you are playing the app game better than other people, right? Because you understand, no, you are. You understand, it is not only about my audience, but the quality of my content. The app is designed to teach people to produce higher quality content. Some of it is by the app's estimation. Couple of things what is your advice for people having done the whole thing to get to a certain size in and around the space? What is some of your key advice for people growing their audience?
So this was the best piece of advice I can give. And this was the hardest thing that I had to swallow, because this is advice that I'm giving and I still don't take my own advice because
I'm probably failing this hard. I am probably already failing this.
Make content for you. And there are so many times where I'm putting out a video, or I want to put out a video, and there's a numbers game. And you're like, oh, my video is doing poorly. Or you just want to chase the excitement of potentially going viral. But if you do that, you're going to be so dissatisfied with the stuff that you are making. Just make the content that you would want to consume and that you are proud of, and accept the fact that it may not see millions of people, but as long as you're happy with the content that you're producing and you enjoy doing it, if you're going into a video going, I don't really want to friggin' do this, but I gotta get a video out today. I gotta, impress the people. Don't make it. Don't do it. You're just gonna hate making it. And I think that was one of the hardest lows I hit, was when I was starting to just make content to make it, and just to see the numbers and just to be the person on the internet. I took a week off and I was like, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing here, because I genuinely love talking to everyone about games, and I love talking about my family and all the stupid middle ground that comes with that. And so I just started making stuff that I would want to see and that I want to make, and that's really it. And it just so happens that I've slowly tried to make the quality of it better, because that for me is, I have a perfectionist problem, that if I look at a video and I go, the timing's off, or that didn't sound right, or I didn't like that shot, I won't put it out. I won't put it out. So it really is, bottom line is, do what's going to make you happy. If it hits big, that's great. That's just the bonus part. If not, so what? You enjoyed making it, and that's great. That's really it. That's all.
No, Rick has given that same advice to me over and over again, right? My community manager, everybody who gets involved with Fight in a Box graduates to a better gaming life. It's true. I've been doing this full time since 2013. And now my community manager is now managing a large online gaming community. Awesome. And so, like a lot of people, my life imploded in 2020. And one of the losses that I had was my amazing community manager, got himself a better life. And I can never, ever begrudge any of the half a dozen people who've gone on to better things for going and doing better things. But that meant I needed to reboot. And instead of, when I was an adult, I was VP of marketing for software development companies. I needed to actually make the content again myself. And people have said for years, Seppy, you would sell more games if you came in every box. And I always reply, that's disgusting. But now on number two, Shh, don't tell the app I said that. All right, no, but I literally, so I've been struggling for years to not be the face of Fight in a Box, but since I'm all in Gattaca style. Gattaca is a movie, by the way, Dani. Since I'm all in Gattaca style for never returning from Princess, I have to do all the things that we can do. And so there's been just this flourish of content. And Rick has been one of the people who's just been so good about encouraging me, talking me off the ledge, all this kinds of stuff. It's amazing. But as somebody who regularly tries to TikTok, I see yours and I'm like, it's so good. Mondo! Hey, Mondo! Mondo, I'm going to try to get Mondo on here one week. I'm going to try to get Rick. This is all like proof that everybody's available at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday to come be on my stream. All right, so back to Gamma. Yep. I think we should do something like, even if it's just me, you, and Rick playing my new big box game, or we live stream for various perspectives, one like morning from Gamma or multiple. Just so people know, if anyone is going to Gamma and wants to breakfast with me and hear about the struggle, like if you are, I know Curvin is going and some other folks who are like getting their games, like if they want like a veteran's idea of what it is to work the show or work through the pits, the fighting pits. I'm very Conan, right? The Wheel of Pain. I take the Wheel of Pain everywhere with me, Dani.
Just beating people up left and right. Well, I guess that's the name of the game, Fight in a Box. So you just always dukes up.
It's true. It's not hugs in a box. That's only legal in Nevada. So so we have 5 titles, as you know. Thank you so much for your shout out for Mouse Cheese. It was fantastic surprise. I had no idea you were going to do that. I didn't even know you had a copy, but I should have known since I sent you one, or Jason sent you one after the last Olympics. And so
so it's been sitting on my shelf, and I have like a little shelf of little games that I like need to get to, because we have like a bunch of little games. And Dani had sent me an email and was like, hey, like as a thank you, we want to send you this game. And I was like, I have this and I should probably play it. And then I was like, I'm talking to you today, so I should probably play it before we talk. And I started playing it. I taught my teenager how to play. And then I was like, did this to my husband. I was like, come here, come play this. We played it like 4 times in one night. It was great. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's insane. That's so good. I'm so excited.
We had such a good time. And it was funny because my husband, who's like normally super into like the most complex games, like we get into it at that table, was struggling, like trying to like wrap his head around the whole concept of the game. He's looking at me, he's like, how do I win again? Like how am I supposed to make this happen? And I'm like showing him, and he's like, I think I like this game, but I don't know if I can win it ever. It was so good to just see his brain melt out of his ears. I'm like, yes.
All right, Dani. And just so you know, anybody in and around your window of your video, so like this week or whatever, I made special stickers that I personally attached to the copies of the game that got sent out this week. Yeah. And the brain melting sticker. So yeah, like anybody who got a game in and around those in and around that week got the brain melting sticker. I might continue it, but it certainly started with you. Now, we often talk about mistakes in publishing, and there are a couple of mistakes with Mouse Cheese, and we should talk about that right now because you hit on one. No one thinks a game named Mouse Cheese Cat Cucumber is gonna melt their freaking brain.
No, not at all.
No, they're like, what did I just get into? And I know you like Too Many Bones. Do you do any solo gaming? Do you have any time you're like you know,
So
taking
I
care
have
of your
one.
family. That's a full-time thing. And you have an amazing TikTok channel. Everybody should be following you.
Oh, thank you. So I have one rule with solo gaming. I don't do it.
Oh,
My
you
husband
okay?
is he's a super solo gamer, but if it ever comes time where I'm going to play a game by myself, I play video games. That is like my time to put on a headset, disconnect, leave me alone. But other than that, he's over there doing like the crazy. He'll play like Cloud Spire until like the wee hours of the morning by himself. He wants to say a word to me, which is great. It's great. We have
All
our own
right.
separate lives.
Just so he knows, and because he's terrible at the game, Mouse Cheese Cat Cucumber doesn't have one solo mode. It doesn't have two solo modes. It
Oh
has
man.
two solo modes and a solo campaign mode. And it's a
Woo!
freaking puzzle.
I love that. I love everything about that.
Yeah,
See, but you could
absolutely.
how about this? I will challenge myself.
It's
I'm gonna take it on the plane with me to Gamma because I have a 6-hour flight and I'm gonna need something to do. We're gonna bring it.
all right. That's good, but if you need that middle ground between the video game urge and the board game, if you need a bridge, Dani, if you have not done the solo mode of Planet Unknown on Sovereignty,
I need to do it again. I have, and I became obsessed with that game. It was a problem. Like you had to pry me away. It is so good, and I forgot about it, and you just reminded me. So guess what?
no, like seriously, it's so good. It's so good. These are like your love for Minnesota games, Dani. You need to come and visit.
Apparently, I didn't realize that y'all were congested in this one little state. Well, it's not even little. One state out in the middle of the country. I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
Really
All right.
Come that way.
So Nathan introduced me to Josh Dabanis. He's Toxic, who just showed up in our chat. Josh Dabanis is the game designer for Dice Miner, and his claim to fame is an arcade game called Killer Queen. In your brew pubs, have you played Enemy Killer Queen?
It's so. Wait a second. Dice Miner, Killer Queen, same person?
Yeah.
I really want to say bad words right now, but I'm being respectful of TikTok.
Like seriously. Debonis. I'm sorry, Nathan. I always say that wrong.
Debonis.
Debonis.
We played at an arcade in Indianapolis. That was the first time I was playing with the folks from Keymaster, and they were like, "Come here, you need to see this." Then they had the machine at PAX Unplugged. We were there for like an hour. It's so good. Like that game is incredible. Love it.
That game, his full-time job, his adult job is
adult job.
Like indie arcade game cabinets. It's Killer Queen and everything in and around. That's his and oh, by the way, he just drops hotties like Dice Miner.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm like, I can't even barely do one thing right. Like,
let alone like, those. That's fantastic. I clearly need to shake your hand, kind sir. Killer Queen and Dice Miner have been highlights of my 2021 and probably well into 2022. So,
this is you and I have been on the opposite things of we love and that we respect this entire time. And I've just been seeing glances of your fabulousness oversight. By the way, I left my pull-up bar up because I know you liked it so much. Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. Like I just out of nowhere, here I am. Like, oh, excuse me. Why don't you flex some more? Thanks.
But that being said, the complexity, like approachability, like your content on TikTok is super approachable. It is a real lesson to me about things that I need to do for my own game titles. I don't know if you know this, but last year, Board Game Geeks had a newsletter dedicated to people who are just going to publish whatever the frick they want. And I was on their list. That's like 5 game designers who can just publish whatever that.
The I don't give an F publishers. Like,
yeah,
here I
yeah,
am.
yeah. Look that one up. That is hysterical. So I made that nefarious list. But like, have you gotten to play the Hedgehog Hop yet, or did you just play it for?
I haven't played it yet.
Next date night. That's just less thinky. It's still pretty thinky, but it will take up the whole freaking table. It literally is the largest board presence to smallest box in gaming.
Oh, okay. All right. I like
It's
that.
just like I am the world's smallest verified account on TikTok.
Can I just say, every time your comments come up in my TikTok, I'm like, ooh, they're famous. They have the little like technique. I'm like, yeah, I got people in my comments that are verified. What's up?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there for it now. Yeah, like, yeah. So, approachability. Like, I literally sent the video that you made for Mouse Cheese to my creative director, who's our illustrator, Mark, and he's like, those words look familiar. Those words sound like a version of our words. And I'm like, they're a little bit like our words, but they're a little bit like Dani from Sovereignty's words. He's like, yeah, they like, I looked at them, but they're so much more succinct when she says that.
Just gotta loop it all together.
No, like the editing, the wordsmithing, the polish on it, you really made it seem way better. Like, and connected the dots for the game for folks. Yeah, and we, yeah, it's great. And everybody who decided to listen to you got a sticker.
I love it.
Because I'm 6. It's the 1970s all over again, and I am 6 years old.
I still love stickers too. That was my videos. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel every time I make an overview. Like, if there's a really well-written rule book with a really good overview, like, I'm going to take something from that because I'm not going to be able to say it any better. And, like, there was a lot in your little tiny rule book that, explained things really well. But at the same time, like, I don't just want to be just reading from a rule book. And so I take a lot of, like, what I do in my, like, adult job, my real-time job, of just like being able to present things in a very succinct and like straightforward way, just give it to you right out the bat, but also like take what's already given to you. Like, I'm not trying to give myself any extra work and like rewrite the Bible by any means.
No, you do such a good job. It was fantastic. Yeah, like there have been some people who got a hold of our content. I think Kim Breeze's Tabletop Rebellion's like sum up of what makes that game sales. So that was really good. You could tell Kim put a lot of time into the word salad for that one. But your succinctness for the platform and your own flavor comes through a lot. It was, it was great. I was like, I'll do any number of pull-ups to make her do that. Oh my God, I don't care. I love it so much.
You inspired me to want to do pull-ups. I have a pull-up bar, but I was like, maybe I'll bust it out. But we're gonna stick with the squats for a little bit because
no. Watch out for that thing. That thing will hurt you. Yeah.
Can you hear my screaming children in the background?
Do you want me to?
No. They're beating each other up in the room in the back, and I just want to make sure, like.
Do you need to go check on them? I can interact with the feed while you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make sure they're not killing each other.
All right.